Okay, so here's my football guide that I'm going to print, and I'm going to show you how I do it to get good precision printing. So the first thing I do, and I've already done this because I can't do it with one hand, the first thing I do is crop, and I crop it in as close as you can on all sides, and then I go to size, and then under size I click on stretch to rectangle, and I take the lock aspect ratio off, and then from there I take my calipers and always zero out my calipers first, and then using my calipers, and I'm trying to do this one-handed so I'm not going to be real exact, I measure the width, and then I measure the length, and then I plug those numbers in right here. So now I know exactly the size of my cookie, and just remember that each cookie can be different. Most of mine are the same size, but sometimes even coming out of the same batch of dough, you're going to get a runt of the litter, or you're going to get one that's a little fluffier than others. So those I'll kind of put to the side when I'm printing, and I'll remeasure them at the end because I can kind of tell that it's not going to do right. So then after I do that, my image is the exact size, in theory, of my cookie, and I've got it lined up on the sassy tray right at that arch right there. So it's like 1, 2, and then this line and that arch, and I do the same thing here on the sassy tray. I line it up in the exact same spot, and then I look at the bottom, and it's just about to touch that line, and I look over here, oops, and it's just about, it's actually, that's what the problem is, it's sideways. The image is sideways, so when I do that, then it's right. I think it's right. But then what I do, just to make sure, and you can totally skip this part if you have the confidence to do it, but I'm looking for really precision print. So the next thing I do is I do a test print. So here, under print, and then under document properties, and then I do fast draft, which just saves you ink, and I bring the print down to saturation of 20. And I'm getting ready to print this for real in a second, so I'm going to change it now back to what it was. But for your test print, that's what you're going to do. And then I test printed it on this extra large sassy tray. And then once I test printed it, the next thing that I did was I put this little piece of waffle paper on it. And then I lined my cookie up on it exactly. And then just to be sure, I used an edible marker, and I went around the edges of it. And then I picked it up, and I can tell that that's a perfect fit. So as long as I line it up that way again, when I go to print it this time, it's going to be a perfect fit. And I'm a little nervous to do that because I'm doing all this one-handed. But I think I got it. I think I got it. You think I got it? I think I got it. Okay, so I'm going to put it on my tray. And again, I'm looking just to make sure nothing moved and that I'm within my lines. I think I'm good. So now I'm going to print it, and we'll see. So I have it set up for Best Vivid 65 because of all the brown on them. And I'm going to print. Let's see how he does. If I were to do 20 of these football guys, I probably wouldn't do all of this, but for one, I'm going to make sure it's precision print. Or what I would do is I would do a test print on every one of my topper trays and have it all set up so that it just would go. Okay. Yeah, perfect. It worked.